Welcome to today's webinar on Miami University Completes Bold Step with CS Access and the AD Series for Full Campus Deployment, presented by Larry Fink. Larry is an Assistant Vice President for Housing and Auxiliaries Finance for Miami University of Ohio.
I appreciate the opportunity to tell our story today, and it's an incredible journey that we were on, and we'll go through the timeline here as we progress through our presentation today. People ask us how this all got started on our campus, and really I think there were two things that happened. Unfortunately, in 2008, we had a young lady who left her residence hall room door unlocked. A male student entered the room and she was sexually assaulted. That incident actually kind of put light on residence hall doors and door access and security, and our university president formed a task force at that time that was co-chaired by our police chief and our dean of students to specifically look at the security inside residence halls, and their focus was on the doors and the door locks. About that same time, July of 2008, the very next month, we welcomed a new Vice President of Finance and Business Services to campus. And he came to us from a university that had installed electronic door locks on residence hall doors. He was very much committed to improving the safety of students in halls by utilizing electronic door locks. So those two things kind of happened at the same time. Also was an ongoing project. We were doing a lot of work on a long-range master housing and dining plan on our campus. In a nutshell, we're going to either renovate or rebuild all 35 of our residence halls and most of our dining facilities. Our VP of Finance very much wanted us to separate or create a project for door access and door safety for all residence halls. We've actually made the door access project as part of our housing and master plan. Just to kind of give you an idea about our campus, we're very much a residential campus. We house about 7,200 students. We have a first and second year housing requirement here at Miami University. Then we have about 500 juniors and seniors we house on campus. In a typical year, we have called the locksmith shop on our campus about 1,200 times. And that's when a student actually loses their key, or we need to have a room taken offline for an eviction or something along those lines. And then we've been charged the $68,000 in labor and benefit charges for those work orders. Also, at the same time, our residence life staff in the halls responds on average to about 1,400 lockout calls a year. And in the past, of course, that's required a student to find an RA, the RA to go check out a master key, and actually visit the room to unlock the door. So as we began to look at this project, we really wanted a system that would enable us to manage access privileges electronically. It's very difficult to try to control keys. Who's got the key? Who's got the master key? A master key gets lost and you end up rekeying a whole entire building. We wanted to make sure when our doors are closed, those doors are locked. The students do not have the ability to unlock their door and close it. We wanted a system that we could electronically monitor door props. So the student leaves the room, runs down the hall to the bathroom, and they prop their door. This helps us kind of track those incidents when a student reports their laptop or wallet missing out of their room. Sometimes we run into conflicting stories or reports that my door was closed and my door was locked. Now this system gives us the ability to know when a door was closed or perhaps when the door was left propped open. And we wanted to electronically manage all those lockouts I talked about and also deal with access for the maintenance and housekeeping staff. As we started to consider electronic door locks for our residence hall rooms, we were very much interested in contactless technology, specifically smart cards. We wanted to invest in a system to where we thought and think technology is headed. Our main focus was on our residence halls. We dealt with 4,200 interior doors and 325 exterior doors. Here's the amazing part. This installation began the day after graduation, and we were complete by August the 7th. But as we planned for the door project, we also included or needed to think about our academic and administrative buildings and also our food service point of sale, about 225 vending machines on campus and about 35 or so laundry readers, all of which we wanted to convert to the contactless technology. As I said, we were very much interested in a smartcard solution for our campus, and we looked at iClass, Felica, MyFair Desfire, EV1, which is actually the technology used by the Aptique card. But in the end, what we really wanted was a system that had a secure handshake, a mutual authentication between the smart card and the electronic reader on the door. We didn't want the reader just to read the card serial number. We wanted there to be the secure handshake of information. We've learned a lot of lessons, but it's been a wonderful process, and I will say that the collaboration from both CBORD and Ingersoll Rand has been invaluable. I can't imagine walking through this project with anybody else. They were wonderful. We say cost was initial primarily because our initial budget was based on a cost estimate we received very, very early, back in '09, that was based on basically an electronic offline system. We understated, I think, the total system cost, not by much. I will say that. It was close. Those initial presentations in October, I should have given each of the vendors a little bit more time. We gave them 2 hours. Just wasn't enough time. I probably should have given them half a day, but we did 6 in a week, so we were kind of aggressive on that schedule. As I indicated earlier, we were able to ask a lot more specific questions because we learned so much from our vendors from the first presentation, between the first and the second, so we could drill down and ask some very, very specific, almost situational type questions. And I'm happy that I included all the folks that I did from our campus. Folks in physical facilities, of course, they were interested in the actual door hardware. Where do you get replacement parts? Our IT folk, of course, they were interested in the networking requirements, the server requirements, firewall, all of that. So there were a lot of great questions, and we had a lot of people who had different points of view, but it was good to have them have the opportunity to ask the vendor firsthand. Why did we choose the CBORD CS Access? Well, first, it has the most robust feature set of all the systems we considered. We also like the CBORD solution, Ingersoll Rand solution, because it's fully integrated in CS Gold, fully integrated in the dining and vending area as well. It's a completely integrated solution. There's no interfaces. We were concerned about interfaces. We wanted to avoid the interface situation, so very happy that the CBORD product with Ingersoll Rand is fully integrated. Some very cool features with the online real-time locks, and we're appreciating this more and more each and every day. The mobile feature on CX Access allows students to, through their smartphone, laptop, open their residence hall room door if they leave their card in their room. They can also use their cell phone and text to open my door. They can report their card lost or stolen via their phone, via their laptop or computer. A system or an application that we're very happy with, and one I want to think was partially invented here, about how we were going to handle things like a plumber that needed to enter a room for a leak, or an electrician that needed to replace a ballast. You know, in the past, the staff would sign out a key at our operations center, and then to go to the student's room, open the door, and then take the key back. But of course, you're into the keys. Or our RAs, how are they going to respond to the door that the kid locked, they don't have their cell phone, they don't have their card? Are they going to check out a card that's programmed for the entire building? I wasn't comfortable with that kind of scenario. Well, MasterKey allows a patron group to actually log into the CS Access system and elevate the privileges on their own ID card for a short time. So they elevate the privilege, they open the door, the residents of the room are then sent a notification that somebody accessed their room. The message also tells them that there's a reason that's also typed in when the RA elevates on MasterKey. But our plumbers actually don't even need to return to the operations center. Their privileges are elevated by somebody who works in the operations center by proxy. So they can stay out in the field, they can be standing in the right outside the door and have the privileges on their card elevated by someone else. So these have been a wonderful feature of this system. What the committee really, really liked about this solution is these locks are online real-time locks. And that just gives you so many more features in terms of access control. We really like the full integration with CS Access software. This lock fits nicely over the holes that were left behind from the old lock and key. I mentioned that we wanted the secure handshake smart card, and the Aptique card uses the MyFair Desfire EV1 technology. These locks are already NFC compatible. We're not using that, but we know down the road as that technology develops. Towards the end of the summer, as we were in the thick of the project, I started thinking about half of our students coming in as first year will not know what it was like to use the key, lock and key. They'll just get the card and see the lock. But the other half of the students, they were here when we had the lock and key, and now we put a new lock on their door. I wanted to teach students how to use their card, how to present the card to the lock. It may sound a little simple, but I thought we'd avoid giving ourselves additional calls and headaches at the beginning of the school year if we shared some information about how the system works. At the bottom of this screen, you'll see the 3 YouTube videos that we created and then sent out ahead of the move-in day. One of the videos shows the student how to present the card. One of the videos basically tells the student what to do if they lose their card, and the last video basically tells them how to take care of their card. You know, don't put a stray hole in your card because you're going to disable it when you cut through the wire. We've spent a lot of time as well with resident advisory staff, and that was time well spent. They have become one of the biggest advocates for this system. On our campus, we basically are a split system, so we're housing, dining, we're the operations, maintenance, facility folks. Residence life are the RAs, the head advisors, the programming piece. We work very closely, but we got them involved, and they have been very, very helpful to us. This is since move-in day. August the 18th was move-in day. Obviously, we were all a little nervous because it was the first really big test when we'd have all those ID cards hitting this system. On the Saturday after move-in day, we had about 111,000 transactions that went through the system. First weeks of school, we only had 3 out of 4,200 locks require us to take a key because something failed in the lock. I'd say that's incredible. As of a week or so ago, about 60% of the students have registered their cell phone. Now, if they have a smartphone, they don't have to register their phone, but the students who do the text messaging need to have their cell phones registered. And just to give you an idea of how often they use the text messaging feature, it's about 2,700 times a week or 450 times each day somebody is texting their door open. Did find in about the first 4 weeks of class there was one kid on campus that used it 57 times. So I'd say he likes that feature very, very much. One of the things for this news clip, this was on a local Cincinnati news channel on opening day. They came up and they wanted to do a story about our new door access system. And you can see our campus ID card, and the girl on the upper right was the student who was moving into her room that spoke very, very favorably about the door system, and then her father is in the lower left. One of the features that I talk about, the fact that if a student drops their card in the hallway and somebody picks it up who's unauthorized to have the card and would maybe walk down the hall and start tapping doors just randomly, the system will actually shut the card off and then notify the owner somebody's trying to use their card in an unauthorized manner. It's only available with the online real-time system. Future plans here, we're going to convert the entire campus in Phase 2. All of our door acts and all of our food service, vending, laundry will be under the CS Gold. Have-and-go technologies in any of our locations. Fully replacing our card system. We're going to replace our point-of-sale equipment with the tap-and-go readers. And we very much appreciate and look forward to continuing successful long-term partnerships with both Ingersoll Rand and Seaboard.